Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. A little tired today. Back to reality, but
Yeah. Oh
had
yeah.
nice,
How was your vacation?
nice 4 days off anyway. Oh, it was good. It was just mellow. It was just my husband and I.
Yeah.
We,
Good.
did, we just did like an Italian pasta meal and
Yeah.
nothing traditional, but it was nice to have some time off.
Yeah. What do you
How
need
about you?
today?
Oh,
Um, we did a backyard celebration with just my brother and his ex-girlfriend who he still lives with, um and our babysitter who's already in our bubble and their wife. But
nice.
everybody was at their own 6-foot distance, and it was really nice until the sun went behind a building and then it was freezing, and then we
Yeah,
wrapped it up.
nice. As for knees, I wouldn't mind some glutes and abs, but you always do that.
Yeah, great. It's always good to remind me. Never hurts. How about you, Leslie? What do you need?
Me? Abs are good. Working off a little bit of that holiday pie eating because I eat
Yeah.
pie every meal. But
Yeah, same. How about you, Wendy? What do you need?
I'm actually for once kind of feeling good because I had 5 days off. So I'll go with the flow. Whoever
Awesome.
needs. Okay.
Okay. Um, let's do that. Yeah, it's like holiday time now. And I grew up without the Christmas holiday, and now I participate in it because my husband's family does it. And I really don't understand the gift giving side of it because I feel like it's just all of us don't need anything, and every year we're stressing about what to buy our family members who don't need anything either. And so I'm in a place right now of trying to figure out how to be more mindful without giving them things that they like really think are terrible gifts, because the gift giving, it's like not going away. So um I'm trying to just be like open to ideas right now. All right, guys, let's start off. We're gonna do, I also started doing, when I was in high school, I used to do 1,000 crunches every day. And so I started getting back on that path. I started with just 500 a day. Um, so far I'm feeling good, but we can bring some of that in, some of what I've been doing. I'll bring it into our class today. We can do some crunches. Let's start off on our back. Let's start off in child's pose, actually. And just checking in with what you need today. Is there something that you want to be open to, or something that you want to create a firm boundary around, or just a beautiful idea that you want to keep in your mind? We're going to take about 12 more deep breaths here. Take one more deep breath, and then walk your hands over towards the left edge of your mat. Maybe stacking your palms, finding a nice stretch through the right side of the torso. And if you want to deepen that stretch, you might just press your right shoulder down towards the ground a little bit more. We'll go back through center and over to the right side. Same thing, pressing the left shoulder down to deepen. Let's come back to center. We're going to come onto forearms, step the feet back, finding our forearm plank. Good, nice and strong through the core. Laura, feel free to shout out anything that you need today. So as you're here, you might think about rounding through the low back just a little bit. So pubic bone can kind of curl in towards your navel. Now we're going to press into the hands, lift the elbows, and find your plank. In your plank, your hips are going to stay where they are. The back is going to stay pretty level to the ground. And then you're going to bend your knees and bring them almost under you. And then straighten back out. We'll do 9 more. Now pressing the knees down, you can press back to your child's pose. Curl your chin into your chest, feel a stretch through the back of the neck. Maybe lift the hips. And then coming up to a seat, we'll bring the legs out in front. So if you have some kind of weight and you want to use it, like a weighted ball, or a can of soup, or a book, or a puppy dog, whatever you got, you can use it. We're just going to go from side to side. So first, leaning back, and then on your exhale, twist, twist, inhale to center. You can also do this without any weight at all. One more. Back to center. Let's bring the heels wide. Get really tall, send the tailbone back, and then hinge forward. So here, your feet can be about as wide as your mat. On your next inhale, you can lift up, bring your heels back out in front, lean back. Again, you can use a weight if you want to. Reaching the arms forward and then back into your chest. Let's open the arms wide and then back together. Open wide, back together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach forward. Exhale to heart. Now, wherever you are, if you want to, you can lift your legs for this, but probably if your hip flexors are tight, keeping the heels down is going to feel better. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, pull the heel all the way in, and then back to center. Inhale, opposite leg straighten. Exhale all the way in, and back to center. We'll do that a few times on each side. Really pulling the heel in towards the glute. Let's do it once more on each side. Good. And then let's roll all the way down onto our backs. Let's take a few breaths here, coming through any movements that feel good to stretch out through the body, to get the back used to being on the ground. We'll bring the feet to hip width distance, and then lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, maybe up towards the knees. Lift the hips up, find your bridge pose. Let your arms and shoulders relax. Now let's cross the right leg over the left leg. Just like you're sitting casually at a cafe, drinking a nice latte or an espresso or a nice cup of herbal tea. So you might feel a little stretch in the right hip. You might feel more engagement in the left glute. We're going to start to lower on the inhale and then exhale, lifting the hips up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to stay in that lifted position. This time, bring the right ankle to the left knee, and then lower the hips down. Pull the left knee in towards the chest. Find the stretch in the outer right hip. Now let's release both feet down. Lengthen the tailbone towards the heels and then up towards the knees. Lift the hips. Shift the weight into the right leg. Cross the left leg over. So take some time just feeling that maybe stretch in the outer left hip, or maybe into even the top of the left hip. And then we'll lower almost to the ground and then lift back up. 10 of those total. So really pressing into your right heel as you lift. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's move the left ankle over the right knee. Lower the hips down, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Find that stretch. Release both legs down. Let's bring soles of the feet together, knees wide, and just check in with the low back. Notice if this is bothersome to the low back, and if it is, you can bend your knees and point them up towards the ceiling, maybe even scooching the feet away from each other. Also check in if the knees are wide with the inner thighs and the fronts of the hips. So if it's uncomfortable there, again, go to that knees lifted position. Take one more deep breath in, full exhale out. And then we're gonna clasp hands behind the head. So as you do this, as the head and shoulders start to lift, we're gonna engage the belly so that the low back is pressing down, which is probably gonna make your knees lift up just a little bit. Again, if the knees are together, it'll be a little bit different. Deep breath in, full exhale out, and then we'll just take some little pulses. So what we wanna find here is the low back being really stable. We're not lifting and lowering or arching and then extending. The low back is keeping contact. Let's do 5 more. Release all the way down. We're gonna stack the right knee over the left knee. And it might be an exact stack or it might be just the leg over the other leg. You're gonna roll onto your left side and we're gonna take some crunches through the obliques. So right elbow is reaching towards the right hip. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Ten more. Last one. Back to center, soles of the feet together. Let's take a breath here. Come back to that intention that you started class with. And then we'll stack left leg over right. Roll onto the right side. Left elbow is reaching for the left hip. Exhaling to lift. Really feeling this through the side body. You might feel it all the way up into that space on the outside of your shoulder blades, your lats. Ten more. Last one. And then release down. Let's bring the legs out long. Reach the arms alongside your ears. Take a nice long full body stretch. Move through the ankles and through the wrists. Let's move the hips towards the right edge of the mat. Move the legs and the arms towards the left edge of the mat. So we're trying to keep both hips down, finding a stretch through the right outside of the body. So from probably the space just above your right knee, through the outer hip, through the side body and into the shoulder. Now let's roll onto the right side. You're gonna lift up onto your right forearm and then lift the hips into a side plank on the side body. So here again, looking for engagement through the obliques on the right side. Let's lower down, roll onto our backs, hips move to the left, legs go to the right, torso and arms go to the right, finding that stretch in the left side of the body. Let's roll over onto the left side. Come onto your left forearm and then press into your legs, lift your hips. Right arm can lift. Look for the engagement in the left side of the torso. Slowly lower the hips. Bring both forearms down under you, so we're up on the elbows. Knees into the chest. Inhale to lift. We're just going to take some either scissor kicks, or you can do leg lifts with both legs. Just 10 breaths. Last breath. You can push yourself up and over, find your hands and knees, tabletop pose, and then move through a few rounds of cat-cow. Notice how it feels in your back. Notice if you feel any stretch through the belly. Then let's walk the hands forward, find your plank. Deep breath in, exhale, press back to your down dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, slow lower down to your belly. Inhale to your cobra or baby cobra. Press down into the tops of your feet. Squeeze the shoulder blades, press the elbows back towards your hips. Exhale to release. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's walk the hands back to the feet, finding a standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale to your half lift. Make sure glutes, belly, and back are all engaged. Reach the arms alongside the ears. And then maybe lifting the heels a little bit or a lot. Inhale all the way up. Really feeling the hamstrings working. And then exhale, hands to heart, lowering the heels down. Good, let's take a deep breath in. Full exhale out. We're gonna drop the arms by our sides. Palms are gonna face forward. Just taking a couple of breaths, resting here, finding some stillness, and bringing your focus back. Bring hands to heart. You're gonna shift your weight into your right leg. Press into your right heel. So we're feeling right glute engaging. And then we're gonna lift the left leg. Extend the left leg out. So point the toe, straighten the leg. Let's slowly bend into the right knee. And then we're gonna step forward into a lunge on the left leg. Inhale, arms reach up. Tailbone reaches down. Hands to heart. Let's bring left hand to the back of the right thigh. Reach the right arm alongside your ear, turn your chest to the left. Inhale back to center, both arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna come into a warrior three with the right leg lifting. Shift the weight back into the left heel. Step back, not all the way. We're gonna come into a setup for pyramid pose. So we wanna make sure both feet are down, both heels are down. Hips can turn forward. Hands are gonna stay at the hips. We're gonna start to hinge forward just to about halfway. Now, when you get there, if your hips are really out of whack, if the left hip is way lower than the right hip, you're gonna shift some more weight into the ball of your left foot. Arms are gonna come alongside the ears. And then hands come down to the mat. Inhale, right leg lifts, standing split. Exhale, right foot comes down under the right hip. So feet are at hip width distance. You're gonna start to shift the hips back, bending into both knees. You wanna keep your shins perpendicular to the ground, so really vertical. And then we're gonna shift into the heels, lift the arms up, find your chair pose. On your next exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step or hop back to plank or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale back down or to your half lift. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. Standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale to your half lift. Engage glutes, belly back. On your next breath, arms alongside the ears, and then lifting the heels high. Let's lift all the way up to standing. Hamstrings, glutes, belly back. And then exhale, hands to heart, heels down. Shift the weight back into the heels. Release the arms, palms facing forward. Refocus on your intention. And then we're going to shift the weight into the left foot. Bring the right knee up into your chest. Make sure the left glute is engaging here, and then we'll straighten the right leg out in front. Slowly bending into the left knee, step the right foot forward. Find your lunge. So here, the back knee is probably going to be bent at least a little bit. Lengthen the tailbone down. Find that stretch in the front of the left hip. Make sure you're pressing into the right heel. Right hand is going to reach for the back of the left thigh, left arm alongside your ear as you turn your chest to the right, exalted warrior. Let's turn forward, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Shift forward and find your warrior three. Let's land the left foot back, not all the way back, setting up for pyramid pose. So it's more of a shallow stance. Hands to the hips. Make sure the feet are at hip width distance. And then hinging forward halfway. If you need to, check in with your hips. Maybe bring a little more weight into the ball of the right foot. And then arms alongside the ears. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, left leg lifts, standing split. Let's release, left foot down. Feet are at hip width distance. This time, hands can come to the ground. You're going to bend your knees until your knees are about over your toes, maybe a little further back. Now keep your belly sort of glued to your thighs. Start to lift your chest. So lots of engagement through the back here, arms alongside the ears. Exhale, fold forward. Step back to plank. Deep breath in, On your exhale, lower down halfway or less. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra, right leg lifts. Exhale to release. Inhale, baby cobra, left leg. Exhale. Keep the forehead down. On your inhale, lift both legs. Release the legs down, press back to your child's pose. Tuck your toes, press back to your down dog. Slowly walk the hands back, standing forward fold at the back of your mat. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift the heels high. Let's fold forward a little bit more and then lift all the way to standing. Release the heels down, release the hands, palms facing forward. Let's shift the weight into the right leg. Exhale to lift the left knee. Inhale to extend the left leg forward. Now we're going to step forward, find that lunge. Right knee is going to bend at least a little bit, probably. Inhale, arms reach up. Now let's bring left hand to the back of the right thigh. Turn your chest to the left. Turn forward, hands to heart, shift forward, and lift to warrior three. Let's step back, setting up for pyramid pose. Straighten the legs, square the hips, hinge forward. Now let's release all the way down. Focus on the stretch in the left leg. Inhale, let's lift the right leg, standing split. Now plant the right foot under your right hip. Sink the hips back and we'll lift up to a chair pose. On your exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step back to plank. Deep breath in. Engage through the upper back. So armpits pull towards the waist, shoulder blades pull together a bit. Keep that upper back engagement. Let it help you lower down with control. Inhale, cobra or baby cobra. Always dragging the chest forward. Release back down. Inhale, press to plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Take a few breaths in your fold. Hands to heart. Let's lift up halfway. Then lift the heels high. Now hinge a little bit more. Drop the chest down. Now with a flat back, lift all the way up. Squeeze the glutes. Lower the heels, lower the hands. Shift the weight into the right leg. Left leg lifts. Right? No, other way. Yeah, right leg lifts. Now let's straighten the right leg out. Slowly bending into the left knee, step the right foot forward. Find your lunge. Arms can reach up. We're going to bring the right hand to the back of the left thigh, exalted warrior, turning to the right. Back to center. Hands to heart, hinge forward, find your warrior 3. Left foot steps back about halfway, setting up for your pyramid pose. Legs straight, hips square forward, and then hinge. On your next exhale, release the hands down, find your stretch. Looking for the stretch in the right leg. On your next breath, left leg lifts, standing split. Let's release left foot down. And then finding any variation of your chair pose that feels good in your body. On your next exhale, heels down, hinge forward, step or hop back to plank. Let's take a few breaths in plank. Now upper back engagement, lower down slowly. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra, up dog or sphinx. Let's release down. Inhale up to plank. We're gonna lower the knees down. So the same way that we started with that core engagement, pulling the knees under your hips. Now let's bring right knee towards the right wrist. And then as far as you can get the right ankle towards the left wrist without grabbing it and pulling. Tuck the left toes under. You might lift the knee, might not. Press down into the right knee, right shin, right foot, and lift up. Let's slowly release down. You might bring a block or a bolster, whatever you have, pillow, blanket, under the right hip if it doesn't make it to the ground. And then fold forward, finding your sleeping pigeon. On your next breath, you're going to keep your legs where they are. Start to walk your hands back. So be really careful with the low back here. We're going to kind of lift up to a seated position, but depending on how your low back feels, it might be a lot more of an angle. So from here, you can just stay right here, especially if you're already feeling a good stretch in the front of the left hip. If you want to, you can bend your left knee, reach back and grab it with your left hand and go deeper into the left quad. Let's release. You're going to carefully come back to plank. Now using the toes, pointing the toes, we're going to pull the knees under the hips again. And then slide left knee to left wrist, left foot and ankle towards the right wrist, as far as it can get on its own. Maybe tucking the right toes under, maybe lifting the right knee. And then arms can reach up. Let's release down. Maybe bring a block or bolster under the left hip if it doesn't reach the ground, and then hinge forward. Find your sleeping pigeon. And start to press yourself up. Listen to your low back. You can keep the core engaged, but that's not going to do all the work. You might have to lengthen the tailbone down towards the ground as well. You can stay up. You can reach back for your bent right knee. Now let's release, step back to plank. One last time, we're going to pull the knees under us using the core. We're going to reach the left arm over to the right side, stretching through the left side of the upper back. And then switching to the other side, right arm to the left. When you're ready, you can come back to center. If there's any last stretch or pose that you need, feel free to take it. And then you can come down onto your back for Shavasana. Good, deep belly breathing. Bring your focus back to that intention. And if the intention had anything to do with being open to new ideas, come into that openness now. Start to bring some movement into your fingers, toes, arms, legs. Find a nice big stretch. Make your way up to a seat when you're ready. Let's bring hands to heart. Deep breath in. Full exhale out.
Mama.
Namaste.
Mama.
Harry, you're not supposed to come in while I'm teaching.
It doesn't look like you're teaching.
Hi, guys. You want to say hi to Harry?
Hi, Harry. How are you?
Good.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, and I thought you were just now you were doing your class.
Yeah, that's why you're not supposed to come in, buddy.
I thought you were just done.
It's okay. We are done. We're done. It's fine.
We're all done. I love hearing you sometimes play. Sometimes I can hear you and Benji and it makes my heart smile. All right, well, have a good day, Harry.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.